Imagine a man so powerful, he commands respect and fear in equal measure. A man whose influence spans continents, whose criminal network is vast, and who, despite being one of the most wanted fugitives on the planet, remains untouchable. From the streets of Mumbai to the corridors of global terror networks, Dawood Ibrahim's story is unlike any other. But how did he rise from humble beginnings to become a global menace? And more importantly, why can't he be caught? Stay with us as we uncover the dark and twisted journey of Dawood Ibrahim, his rise, his empire, and the unsolved mystery of his escape from justice. Few would have predicted that the son of a humble police constable would become the most feared man in India. Born in 1955 in Ratnagiri, Maharashtra, Dawood Ibrahim Kaskar was raised in a modest household. But growing up in Mumbai's crowded streets exposed him to the harsh realities of life, and soon the lure of power became irresistible. Dawood's entry into the world of crime was swift and inevitable. By the 1970s, he was already involved in smuggling, a lucrative business in Mumbai's dockyards. Unlike others, Dawood had vision. He understood that to survive in the cutthroat world of crime, he needed more than brute force. He needed strategy. Dawood's intelligence and ruthlessness quickly made him a dominant figure in Mumbai's underworld. His clashes with the Pathan gang, led by Karim Lala, marked the beginning of a brutal rivalry. But Dawood wasn't just interested in local dominance. He wanted to build something much bigger. What if I told you that Dawood's initial rise wasn't just about crime, but about exploiting the economic system around him? At a time when smuggling was rampant due to heavy trade restrictions, Dawood used loopholes in the system to finance his empire. He transformed criminal activities into a multinational business, with branches that would eventually reach the Middle East and Africa. His ability to think like a businessman in a world of thugs set him apart early in his career. By the early 1980s, Dawood had outgrown the local gang scene. He had set his sights on building an empire that would reach far beyond Mumbai. That empire would come to be known as D Company, a criminal syndicate unlike any other. This was not just a gang, it was an international organization, deeply involved in everything from drug trafficking to arms smuggling, extortion, and money laundering. D Company was organized like a business. Dawood operated like a CEO, managing operations from his base in Dubai, while his associates carried out the dirty work on the ground. What set D Company apart was its efficiency. Dawood knew how to use fear to maintain control while expanding his influence across borders. Dawood's ability to network with political figures and legitimate businessmen gave him protection that no ordinary criminal could ever dream of. It was these connections that allowed him to operate freely for so long. But the question remains, how did Dawood, despite being one of the most wanted men in the world, manage to stay hidden? What if I told you that D Company wasn't just about smuggling and drugs? Dawood ventured into more sophisticated areas like real estate and finance. He diversified his criminal activities by infiltrating legitimate markets, making it nearly impossible for authorities to fully dismantle his empire. His involvement in Bollywood was another way he expanded his influence, using the film industry to launder money and maintain a public image. This diversification made D Company one of the most resilient crime organizations in the world. In 1993, Dawood Ibrahim's status as a criminal mastermind took a sinister turn. On March 12th of that year, a series of bomb blasts ripped through Mumbai, killing over 250 people. This was no ordinary act of violence, it was terrorism, carefully planned and executed. The mastermind behind the attacks? Dawood Ibrahim. The 1993 bombings were carried out as retaliation for the anti-Muslim riots that had torn through Mumbai a few months earlier. Dawood, angered by the attacks on the Muslim community, financed and orchestrated the bombings with the help of Pakistan's ISI, according to reports. But why did Dawood choose this path of terror? What if I told you that this act of terror wasn't just about revenge? It was about solidifying his power and influence in Pakistan and beyond. By supporting terrorism, Dawood ensured that he would receive protection from powerful elements within Pakistan's military and intelligence agencies. It was a calculated move, one that would guarantee his safety as a fugitive. While India reeled from the devastating attacks, Dawood was expanding his reach, knowing that as long as he maintained his alliances with powerful figures, he would remain untouchable. Dawood Ibrahim wasn't just content with controlling the streets of Mumbai or even the Indian criminal world. Over the years, his ambitions stretched further into the realm of global terrorism. His ties to Pakistan's ISI and groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba and Al-Qaeda made him a key player in international terror networks. Dawood's support for terrorist activities, including funding terror groups and facilitating the movement of weapons, turned him from a criminal don into a global threat. But why would a man with immense wealth and power want to risk it all by getting involved in terrorism? What if I told you that Dawood's involvement in terrorism wasn't just ideological, but also financial? Terrorism opened new doors for him in terms of illegal arms trafficking and heroin smuggling, making him richer than ever before. By aligning himself with terrorist groups, Dawood not only increased his wealth, but also created a system of protection and alliances that ensured his survival. Dawood was no longer just a gangster. He was an international player, protected by some of the world's most dangerous entities. His transformation into a terrorist made him untouchable, but also put him on the radar of global intelligence agencies. Dawood's reach isn't limited to the criminal underworld. His influence in the Bollywood film industry is another part of his shadowy empire. It's rumored that he has financed films, controlled actors, and even used the industry to launder money. But why hasn't anyone in Bollywood exposed him? What if I told you that Dawood's control over Bollywood goes deeper than just money? Through his connections, he has been able to manipulate not just business deals, but also personal lives, ensuring that no one dares to challenge him. His reach into legitimate industries is part of what has kept his empire afloat, despite global efforts to shut him down. Dawood's empire runs on fear, but it's also built on connections and alliances that go far beyond criminal enterprises. Despite being one of the most wanted men in the world, Dawood Ibrahim has evaded capture for over 2 decades. His survival is a testament to his cunning and the intricate web of protection he has built around himself. Reports suggest that Dawood lives comfortably in Karachi, Pakistan, under the protection of powerful political and military figures. His close ties with the ISI have made him nearly untouchable. But how does a man like Dawood continue to live in luxury while remaining one of the most sought-after criminals on the planet? What if I told you that Dawood has evaded capture not just because of his connections, but because he has mastered the art of disappearing? Using multiple identities, constantly moving between countries, and even undergoing cosmetic surgeries to alter his appearance, Dawood has become a ghost, impossible to pin down. It's not just about money or power. It's about the alliances he's built over the years. With the help of corrupt officials and international connections, Dawood has managed to stay one step ahead of the law. But the question remains, how long can he keep running? The scars of his crimes run deep. From the 1993 bombings to the drug trade that has ruined countless lives, Dawood's legacy is built on violence, death, and fear. But his continued freedom sends a chilling message. Justice, for some, remains elusive. Dawood Ibrahim's story is more than just a tale of crime and terror. It's a warning about the far-reaching consequences of corruption, the dangers of unchecked power, and the devastating impact organized crime can have on entire nations. Turn on the notification bell so that you are the first to enjoy the most compelling crime documentaries. If you enjoyed this video, then click here for another video, delving into the inner world of the world's most notorious criminal organizations.